our voice is our vote, and our vote is our voice. So living in the United States, a great country, we need change. And yes, we all vote in our own country, all the Caribbean, but stop worrying about election day. Let's make a difference where we are living. Right now in NYC, election time is now. And it's not the big election we're worried about. We are worried about the small election in our city, in our town council, and in our city district. New York City Council District 28, Mr. Rusat Ramgopaul is running for that seat, and I hope he gets it because he stands for change. He wants to see our education system change. He wants to see safer environment, safer road, and let's fund the police, because without the police, we don't have a safer street. And with all the crimes that's happening, we need safer street. We need safer places for our kids to go. School system should be in place, and a better school system should be in place. So stand with Mr. Rusat Ramgopaul and join him on an early election, October 28th to November 5th. That's early election, and election is November 7th. Find out where you can vote by calling 311 or call up Mr. Rusat and say, hey, where can I vote for your district? District number 28, guys. Election day is coming up. Take someone at the voting poll. And yes, you don't have to be Republican. You don't have to vote Democrat. You don't have to vote Republican. You could vote anyhow. Just choose a good candidate, someone that represents you and what you stand for, making our community better and safer. I vote for Rusat.
Okay, so thank you everyone for coming. I don't know how they did this. It's like a tape on the mic thing, but even a villa or so, right? But thank you everyone for coming out today. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all our wonderful speakers. Now, some people may wonder why you have so many speakers, but I believe that it's not good to say these things about yourself. If other people can come out and praise you as genuinely as some of the wonderful speakers did today, then you know you've left an impression on them. You know that the people of this community are actually out there supporting you. It's not a one-man show, and I need the support of each and every one of you in order to win this election. So, it's a local election this year. Rusat running for City Council. It was said earlier that we need to get out and vote because the people in the City Council right now, they are not representing you. Are your beliefs that they should defund the police? No. But that's what they do. Is it your belief that we should shut down Rikers Island?
No.
And have a community jail in 2 Gardens?
No.
But that's what they want to do. Is it your belief that children ages 3 through 8 who are failing at reading and math should be taught, instead of ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, all the letters of LGBT and how to change their gender at ages 3 through 8? But that is what they are currently doing in your name. If something was being done in your personal life, in your name, and you did not agree with it, what would you do? You would say, stop doing that in my name. That is what you have the opportunity to do this November by getting out and voting, telling the New York City Council, stop doing this radical nonsense in my name. We need to vote for change. We need to vote for candidates like Rusat. Get out and vote November 7th, and you will have common sense in the City Council again. You will have people in the City Council focused on local issues, fixing your roads. Look at the roads in this community. Every time it floods, every time it rains, you have the flooding everywhere because they don't have proper infrastructure. You don't have proper senior care, as Uncle Vishnu was talking about. You don't have proper sanitation. You walk down Liberty Avenue. You don't have the basics. The city has spent decades and decades, millions of dollars improving the ghetto, but letting you become the ghetto. And you have the opportunity to change that, as Uncle Stanley was saying, the power of the vote. So many people in this room today once left Guyana because they didn't have the power to vote, or at least vote in a free and fair election. And you live here in this country, and you don't take the opportunity. What does that say? In this community, the voter turnout rate is only 22%. 22%. Right over the banner, it's 53%. So even though we can have all the street signs you want, Little Guyana, this, that, whatever, but you can have 50,000 Guyanese living here. But if only 2,000 go out and vote, you don't have representation. You don't have a seat at the table. You fought 28 long years in Guyana and finally get a seat at the table. You're living over here, you're still fighting Guyana politics.
Yes.
30 years, this community hasn't got proper representation. It's time for that to change. I see so many people in this audience today that mean a lot to me for coming out. You know, we had speakers like King Raj, Uncle Vishnu. I want to also thank our wonderful Imam, and Pastor Emmanuel and Auntie Shanta for their wonderful prayers earlier. And for those who don't know, Auntie Shanta is also the daughter of one of the most important religious figures that this Guyanese community has ever had. The late Pandit Omada was Auntie Shanta's father. So for those who don't know, I want you to recognize that as well. We talked earlier about turnout. This election, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. You can have all the events you want, you can have all the people talk all they want, but at the end it matters how many people turn out on the election day. How many people turn out November 7th, and how many people turn out the week in advance, October 28th to November 5th, and actually get out and vote. Again, as I said, this community, we have a low turnout rate. So in general, we don't have it, in most years, you don't have a good shot. That's why every Guyanese candidate has always lost. Every single one. Think about it. Every single candidate, for going back all through the decades. You go to Denny Backlundin, Albert Baldio, Trevor Perrine, Richard David, every single one. Because they don't turn out. We talk about how many votes you need to win. Normally you need there's about 11,000, 12,000 votes to turn out in this area. You need the majority of that call, you need about 7,000 to win. However, this year is what you'd call an off-year election. It's an anomalous election. There's no presidential race going on, there's no governor race going on, there's no mayor race going on, it's just the local elections. Because of that, because there's low turnout overall, we have a chance of winning it this year. The number was earlier said 7,000 need to win. Jay was using 4,000 or 5,000 we need to win. The number's going to be even lower than that. The truth is, to win the election this year, you'll probably win it with about 2,500 to 3,000 votes. That's how low the turnout's going to be. I can't get 10,000. I can't get 5,000, but I can get 3,000. And if you want to envision, if somebody comes and say, okay, he needs 3,000 votes to win, he needs 2,500 votes to win. It sounds like a big number. But I want you to visualize it this way. We have about 100 people in this room right now. If each of you got 5 people to vote, and each of those 5 people got 5 people to vote, that's it right there. It's as simple as that. Yep. So we can win this very low turnout election, and it's not just me saying it. You want to look at numbers, you want to look at data. The Democrat primary this June, does anybody want to guess what the turnout rate was for them? Raise your hand if you think they had a 40% turnout. No. Raise your hand if you think they had a 30% turnout. No. 20%? No. 10%? 6% turnout. They're not paying attention right now. You will never, ever get this opportunity again of them having a 6% turnout. That was in June. In September, to further the data point, they had a big election in the Forest Hills, Kew Gardens, College Point, Whitestone area. An area that is larger than our area here. Guess what the turnout rate was for that election? 6.4%. The Democrat won that race with only 2,500 votes. In a normal year, you need 23,000 votes to win that race. But because the turnout is so skewed this year, so low, they were able to win with just 2,500. It's the same thing in this area. We can win it with 2,500 votes. That is all it will take at the end of the day. And that's all it takes to get a restoration of common sense to the city council. I was campaigning yesterday, and you have people who go to you and they say, it's a local race, it doesn't really matter. It's the big race no, it's not the big race, it's the local races that matter most. You go out, you vote for president, you can argue about Trump and Biden all day long. Trump and Biden are never going to meet you. They're never going to do anything for you. The road that's broken in front of your house, that's been broken for the past 20 years, Trump and Biden, Obama and Bush, none of them fixed that road, and none of them are going to fix it in the future. It's the local city council that will have the say in fixing that road in front of you, that pothole in front of you. So we have to come out and vote for these local races, and the reason we've been ignored for 20, 30 years, like what Uncle Vishnu was saying, they put all the funding over there. People ask me, what can a city council person do? One of the most important things is funding, right? We talk about District 28. District 28 is 100th Street to Guy Brewer, split in the middle by the Van Wyck. Now, every election cycle, somebody from the Rochdale Village community has won that election, and they put all the funding there. And if you want to know, the Democrat Party is the one who wants to talk about equality and racial equality. Do you want to know how they discriminate against this community? At the same time that this current city councilwoman put $60,000 of senior funding for Rochdale, guess how much she put for this community? Zero. She put $3,000 for this community, right? At the same time, she's giving $60,000 to them. Literally 20 to 1 disparity. 20 to 1. Our community has to wake up to that. But instead, we don't wake up. When these politicians come, they treat them like God. They come to a temple for 2 minutes, people line up, take a photo with them. They don't ask them to actually do something for them. They just line up and worship them. And that has to stop. We have to leverage our vote. If this community is not being served, you tell the politicians, you're not serving me, you're not doing your job. If I don't do my job at work, I get fired. Now it's about time we start to fire you.
So guys, we have Big Wells. They have the best in pastries and potato bowls, and we got some egg rolls and stuff. And check this out over here. You guys know who this is here? We with a celebrity Shanaz here, right? Shanaz musical sensation right here. Wow.
This is my spot. John knows that I do all my catering with Big Well Bacon Halal. They have their butter rolls, fresh bread.
Everything's halal, all right?
Fried chicken.
The curries and...
That's right. We forgot to tell you it's halal food.
Yes, all halal food, man. Yours truly, Ashley, and I love it here, okay? This is where we come for great food.
For all your Indian clothing, Islamic wear, wholesale, retail, men, women, and children, call Zarina Fashion 347-859-0254. That number again is 347-859-0254. Men, women, and children, wholesale and retail, Zarina Fashions. Come on down and check us out. Unbeatable prices and the latest style. Zarina Fashions. Favorite halal food truck on Liberty Avenue on 120th Street now invite you to join them at their brand new location. That's right, Zaki's Halal Food. Stop by for chicken gyro, falafel, lamb over rice, grilled chicken, lamb kebab, chicken kebab, cheeseburger, chicken sandwich, all your falafel and rice platter. Zaki's Halal Food, 108th Street and 101 Avenue. We could cater for your event or cater for your party. So stop by 108 and 101 Avenue for Zaki's Halal Food. King Solomon Logistics, with over 3 decades of experience, we are the expert when it comes to shipping. We invite you to stop by our brand new office, 13409 Liberty Avenue. We ship to Guyana, Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica, Suriname, St. Lucia. Nothing is too big or too small. Send a car, bike, tractor, barrel, or boxes. Not forgetting your containers. We do money transfer. Love online shopping? Ship them to us and we will forward it to their destination. King Solomon Logistics, 718-658-1187.
Thank you, brother. All right. Let's give it up for Nirvan, for Shanaz, for Son, right? Give a round of applause. Kings and queens, let me hear you. Somebody say yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. We're in for a treat. So everybody, do me a favor, put your hand in the air right now, put it over your other shoulder, pull over your seatbelt and buckle up, because you are in for a thrilling ride for this campaign trail, right? All the way to 28th District, City Council. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Give it up for Rusat. That's right. Okay, and let me tell you, I remember well, first let me introduce myself for those of you that don't know. I see some of you saying that. I am from New Jersey, so yes, you may call me, I am the light at the end of your tunnel, for some of you, right? But I am a TEDx speaker, an award-winning author, a singer of a Caribbean band, a human rights consultant, but I'm not here to speak about me. I'm here to speak about the man of the hour, Rusat. And I remember years ago, I got invited to speak at an event in London where there were thousands of people there. While Rusat was studying, he sent me a message on social media and asked me if I would meet him for lunch across the street from the venue, right? And I was so impressed at the conversation we had because of the questions that this young man was asking me. Now, I knew from my mentors that how important questions are. But not only asking people questions, but what kind of questions are you asking them? And the kind of questions he was asking me were very interesting and insightful questions. But he went one step further than that. He also started giving me insight into what I could say in my speech to this audience with local events that were happening in London so I can build a greater connection and rapport with them very quickly. Now I said to myself, wow, this young man is gonna be somebody. And I knew that that moment, from my perspective, was where he would be from the bridge that was where he was to where he is now to where he is going, right? Now, if you look at him, you look at his picture, look at him, he's a handsome young man, right? Ladies, right? He looks good, he smells good. If I had that face, do you know where I would be right now? On a Caribbean island, sipping margaritas with some ladies feeding me grapes. Can I get an oh yeah?
Oh yes!
But what does he choose to do? As cray-cray as it sounds, he chooses, by his own desire, to go upstream, uphill, against the grain, right? Take the road less traveled, you get the point. But he chooses to do all of that. Why? To serve you and I instead. Wow.
On behalf of my family, my in-laws, Ramgopaul family, and Mohan's family, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight to celebrate with us this fact that Rusat Mohan Ramgopaul has chosen. On behalf of his dad, Mahendra Ramgopaul, attorney at law, and myself, we wish Rusat all the best in the future. Rusat was born June 12, 2000. As some of you have known, that his name was given with USA in the middle. That was given by both his grandparents' priest and my priest. It did happen, it's divine invention that my priest was in Guyana at the same time when Rusat was born. When the phone call was made for his name to be chosen by the priest, both priests was there at the same time. So that is how Rusat name came about. It's a Sanskrit name of Rusat, with USA in the middle. At that time, we did not know Rusat would be running for offices at that time, or any office. Nevertheless, his name has USA in the middle. At the middle of his last name, Ramgopaul, we also have GOP at the middle. RAMGOPAL. So when we speak of divine intervention, it is been there before our eyes. On the other hand, what I would like to say to everyone here, people who are listening to me on the internet or not, or social media, Rusat is a child that when he chose a job or if he has an assignment to do, he do it to the fullest, to the best he can. He makes all the sacrifice at the time to get the job done the best of his ability. An instant that I will never forget as a mother, and I'm speaking here as Rusat's mom, when Rusat was studying in England, when he decided to go to England, and we knew that from a very young age that he will not stay on in the US to study, he will go somewhere else because he wants the international experience to deal with the path that he is thinking of at that time. It was January 2019. I'm coming back from London, and Rusat was homesick, I will say. He may not say he was homesick. And we were at the airport, and he was very sad, and he said, on the other hand, when was COVID time, the US was shutting down, and I said to Rusat, all over shutting down, let me book your ticket to come back home. He said, no, Mom, I cannot come home back. If I come now, England is not shut down as of yet. I would interfere with my visa, and I cannot come home, even though people are dying. His commitment was, I have to stay until it is released by a school that they can leave to come back home. So the path that Rusat has now chosen to run for City Council in New York City, District 28, it is a commitment that he has made, and I would assure anyone and everyone that this path that Rusat has chosen, he is putting his 100% in, guarantee when he wins, because one way or the other he will be winning an office, he is not stopping. he will keep going. So I would assure you, it is better you come out now and vote for him. Don't wait, because if you don't vote for him now, November 7, 2023, you still have to vote for him another time down the road. And assure you that he will give you his 100% in. Whatever he promised, guarantee he's going to work his best to provide and to produce what he promised you. So here it is, I'm speaking here as his mom, and I'm asking you all to come out, vote.
I spent some time with Rusat on a daily basis while he was getting signatures throughout the district. And I had a good opportunity to analyze him personally and in my own way assess his chances of being successful in this political world in which we find ourselves, where you're in a distinct minority politically. As some of the other speakers mentioned, the majority of the Guyanese and I guess West Indian community vote Democrat mindlessly, because in my family, I am like a political outsider. So I ask them now and again when we get together and you can raise the topic, well, you like what's going on in the city? They said, no, we don't like it. It's not like old times. So, well, how do you vote? Do you vote for the same person year after year, election after election? They say, yes, we vote Democrats. Very proud. And I said, you know the definition of insanity? Where you do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. And that's what's, in my estimation, happened to the Guyanese and West Indian society in Richmond Hill. We hope that by voting the people, same people over and over again, that they might somehow wake up one day and say, well, we can do better than this. But that's not going to happen, not in our lifetime. So I say that, you know, as a mark of change, vote someone else in. That someone here mentioned the power of the vote. That's the most important thing we have in America. If you don't like someone, you don't like the system, you have an opportunity to vote for change. And I say Rusat does represent change in New York politics. First of all, as a councilman, and then on to greater things later on. And I urge you, and I would like to reinforce what the previous speaker mentioned, where we can issue a personal charge to ourselves to speak to your family, speak to your friends, and then you tell them you can do something. You are the agent of change. This is the agent of change. He and his mindset represents the future for this city. And we have to do our best by making his name a household name, making people understand that there is an alternative to the present mess we're in. And just complaining is not enough. Use the power of the vote. And I said, let's all vote to do that. Get all our friends and families to do the same. Thank you very much.
Send that message, and we have to get them to come out and vote in all possible ways on election day. Put your hands together for Rusat and his incredible mother, who will be like a rock in his life. Thank you.
At the general election for any candidate, we in Richmond Hill here represent almost 5/8 of District 28. But we are being ignored by our current city councilman or councilwoman, who is the Speaker of the House. She has a big budget, but has given us in Richmond Hill zero. And I want you to hear the name, zero. She does not do anything for us in Richmond Hill. And we need to send a message to New York City that we are not going to be standing up and tolerate nonsense in our community. We are a massive amount of votes. We need to get our people together. You need, when you leave here today, to educate your uncle, your aunt, your grandmother, your grandson, everybody to come out and vote early election or on the general election on November 7th. It is important because we have a very viable candidate in Rusat. When Rusat gets in there, he will make sure that we have a presence here that can handle food stamp, rent assistance, cash assistance. These are things we're going to make sure you get in there and you can make sure we get these for our seniors. Other than that, I'm open to any questions. But Rusat is a primary choice because he came from a good mold. His father, Rusat Ramgopaul, was a stand-up lawyer in our community.
Our voice is our vote, and our vote is our voice. So living in the United States, a great country, we need change. And yes, we all vote in our own country, all the Caribbean, but stop worrying about election day. Let's make a difference where we are living. Right now in NYC, election time is now. And it's not the big election we're worried about. We are worried about the small election in our city, in our town council, and in our city district. New York City Council District 28, Mr. Rusat Ramgopaul is running for that seat, and I hope he gets it because he stands for change. He wants to see our education system change. He wants to see safer environment, safer road, and let's fund the police because without the police, we don't have a safer street. And with all the crimes that's happening, we need safer streets. We need safer places for our kids to go. School system should be in place, and a better school system should be in place. So stand with Mr. Rusat Ramgopaul and join him on an early election, October 28th to November 5th. That's early election, and election is November 7th. Find out where you can vote by calling 311 or call up Mr. Rusat and say, hey, where can I vote for your district? District number 28, guys. Election day is coming up. Take someone at the voting poll, and yes, you don't have to be Republican, you don't have to vote Democrat, you don't have to vote Republican, you could vote anyhow. Just choose a good candidate, someone that represents you and what you stand for, making our community better and safer. I vote for Rusat. For all your Indian clothing, Islamic wear, wholesale, retail, men, women, and children, call Zarina Fashion 347-859-0254. That number again is 347-859-0254. Men, women, and children, wholesale and retail, Zarina Fashions. Come on down and check us out. Unbeatable prices and the latest style. Zarina Fashions. Logistics. With over 3 decades of experience, we are the expert when it comes to shipping. We invite you to stop by our brand new office, 13409 Liberty Avenue. We ship to Guyana, Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica, Suriname, St. Lucia. Nothing is too big or too small. Send a car, bike, tractor, barrel, or boxes. Not forgetting your containers. We do money transfer. Love online shopping? Ship them to us and we will forward it to their destination. King Solomon Logistics, 718-658-1187. Ramana Jewelry, the same great quality jewelry with excellent craftsmanship that you've trusted for over a decade, now relocated to 11106 Liberty Avenue. Stop by our showroom for special multi-pendants, bangles, diamond rings, birthstone ring, necklace, earrings. We are specialized in American, Guyanese, and Indian jewelry. Expert repaired, diamond setting, custom design. Need a special gift? Say it with jewelry from Ramana Jewelry, 11106 Liberty Avenue, 718-322-2262. Ramana Jewelry.